Hello and welcome to Business Reporter's The Future of Retail campaign. I'm Alistair Greener. People are predisposed to see things in black and white, perceiving the world, including businesses, as conflicting forces pitted against each other, such as disruptors against incumbents, fintech against banks, online trade versus brick and mortar. But the retail picture is becoming more nuanced. Online retailers are opening brick and mortar outlets. Customers can return items they've bought online to physical shops and browse there before making another online purchase. Meanwhile, a new dichotomy seems to be emerging between commodity retailers, or those whose main objective is to undercut competitors' prices, and specialty retailers who weather the storm by embracing the theatre of retail. So how should specialty shop owners and their field managers be able to better empower their staff so they can enhance the all-important customer experience? To discuss this, we're going to talk to Chris Noble from Storeforce. Good morning.
Good morning, Alistair.
Now, we've always had the technology to be able to look at metrics to see how the stores are performing. So what kind of metrics, what kind of changes are we talking about to make sure that these metrics are actually fit for purpose for brick and mortar stores today?
If you get the integration between e-commerce and brick and mortar wrong, your stores and your staff will see online business as a threat. Digital retailers who are coming to brick and mortar have understood natively that the stores are there to support the business on all channels. And it feels like a different experience when I go and shop in a retailer that's come from the digital world into brick and mortar. So brick and mortar retail needs a radical change in the mindset to ensure that the stores are recognised and rewarded for supporting the sales of the online channel in their brick and mortar stores.
The thing is, though, that if I speak to a CEO of one of these brick and mortar stores, they'll say, well, we have changed. You know, we have click and collect. We have all of these new things in there. So we're doing it already.
Yeah, so click and collect, the UK was one of the leaders in click and collect. But if you look at it from a store's perspective, they're just being given more work and not being given credit for those sales. So whilst there are some KPIs and many retailers are using them to track click and collect, what we would say is attribute the sales within a geographic area to that store. They're then incented not only to be happy about dealing with click and collect or returns from the online channel, they're also really happy to tell customers to go and shop online. And that's what the digital retailers got right from the start. They're concerned about making sure their customers have a brilliant experience wherever they are. Some of our online customers are actually paying their in-store staff lifetime commission if they sign up a new person. So as a new customer in one of these stores, I walk in, you sign me up to their loyalty program. Every time that customer spends money, they get a commission. So they're taking the online referral model into the stores. Those are the kind of tools that digital retailers are using in brick and mortar stores now, and brick and mortar traditional retailers need to change to compete with that new threat.
And these are the metrics that you're talking about that would change that?
Yeah, so market sales is view your stores as markets. See them as a hub for all of the business that's happening in that geographic area. So we can take the location of every transaction and attribute it to the store. So you're crediting the store for the work that's being done in the store to support the online business. The second is available capacity. How much capacity does each store have and each team have to support the online business, whether it be online chat requests or pick and pack from store? These are all things that can be sent out to the store population to better utilise labour at times when they're not very busy. So let's use that, let's spend our money more wisely. And the third thing is really employee engagement, tracking, analysing who your best performers are, recognising them, rewarding them, thanking them for it, but also asking them to work at busy times is really crucial. You want your best people working at your busiest times. Now, many of our customers, once they identify their top performers, do things that help those employees without costing them a penny. Things like picking a 3-day weekend next month as the first choice because I'm one of the best salespeople in the store. Traditional brick and mortar staff are always working weekends, unsociable hours. So you can do things that recognise the contribution they're making to the whole business and retain them as well.
So how does this end-to-end software work, where it can be integrating workforce and performance management, that then it can drive, increased transactional values and, a better take-up?
Brick and mortar retailers that are either scheduling in Excel or through a generic workforce management platform are missing on 5 to 15% of their sales. Using a tool that's built for specialty retail ensures that the store are focused on their peak times. So peak segments are important. Stores do 50% of their trade in the top 20 hours, and a store's typically open 60 to 100 hours. So you do most of your business in a very short space. It's easy to serve customers when you're quiet. It's very difficult to get the experience right at those busy times. So identifying, and we can automatically schedule your best people at your busiest times. We can make sure that they're targeted effectively. We can make sure that the staff and everybody from store managers, sales associates, up through the retail chain understand what's happening right now so they can react in real time to what's happening in the stores.
And why is it important, or why is it so important, that this software is integrated at all levels of an organisation?
The change that retail's undergone and is going through at the moment is affecting some really fundamental aspects of retail. And we believe the change in traditional brick and mortar needs to be recognised and invested from the very top. So leadership within a retail organisation really needs to understand what is happening in the marketplace, what digital retailers who are coming to brick and mortar are doing, so they can compete. Because getting the experience right in store means more sales, happier staff, and a successful business.
That's all fine in theory, but what about the practice? Can you maybe give us some examples of how this system has actually helped, give your clients an uplift in their sales?
I can obviously only talk about the public results. Walford, a retailer based in Austria, drove a 9% improvement in sales through using our tool. Genesco, who journeys in North America, 1,200 stores. If you listen to their last quarterly earnings you'll hear them talk about the workforce management solution that they implemented overnight in all of their stores, and it's driven a significant uplift in sales. And most interestingly, on that call, they talk about an additional investment in workforce in their staffing costs. Retailers have been cutting and cutting and cutting staffing levels, often to the bone. They've not cut through just the fat, they've cut down so their stores are not providing the experience that they want them to. And when you use our tool, you're able to identify the peak times where a small investment in labour will often yield huge returns.
What you've been talking about is now, but what about the future? What are we going to be seeing as future trends in the retail sector?
Whilst retailers are reducing their footprint, they want the experience in the stores that they have to be phenomenal. They want every customer to be having a great experience, so they're not just buying today, but remaining loyal to the brand throughout their lifetime. So retail has changed. Investment in people is going to become crucial. Retail has traditionally been an industry where people go on close to minimum wage employment. And we think once you've been able to identify who your star performers are, you're going to want to invest in them. So there'll be competition for top talent. So we think careers for people in retail are only going to grow as retailers realise that their in-store experience is crucial to their whole performance.
We've talked a lot about the paradigm shift that has to take place for retail to survive in the future in a new form. If you could encapsulate all of what we've been talking about into some key takeaways that our audience could use, what would they be?
Think of your store as a market. It supports not only the sales in the store, but the whole area around it. If you open a new store in a new location, sales go up by on average 30%. So there's a symbiotic relationship. Think of them as markets. Use your labour more effectively and engage and reward your staff, helping them not only achieve the results that you want, but you're rewarding and recognising their contribution.
Well, we know that the retail industry is changing and everybody in the industry has to change along with it. And it's been really interesting to find out how metrics, how using software can actually help with all of that process so that they can take a full advantage of the future of retail. It's been fascinating finding out more. Chris Noble from Storeforce, thank you very much.
Thank you.